Alma and welcome to my book journey. I just want to thank everyone for joining me today. If you are new here, welcome. And if you've been here with me for a little bit, welcome back. Thank you for joining me again. So today is one of my most favorite, probably one of my most favorite videos to record, and that is my TBR for the coming month. And yes, we are starting in the summer months. And it is June, going to be June already in a week, and it's crazy. But I thought, as you can tell from my thumbnail, I'm doing something a little different. And I am going to tackle my World War II shelf here. I did a video several months ago where I talked about all the World War II books that I've collected I collected over the past year when I was going to thrift shops and my library sales and things like that. And so I had, started collecting these books, and they just caught my eye. I love World War II stories, and so I just started adding to my collection. And I have a ton. And so I decided, you know what, I want to take a month and just really enjoy these stories and read them and find out if I picked up some good books. A lot of them I know that they're good because I've heard other people talk about them, and so that's why I picked them. And other books I didn't realize they were World War II books until after I got them home. And I was like, oh, it is a World War II book. So that's what I'm going to do this month. So what I decided to do was I do like five yearly reading challenges that some really great booktubers have given us to participate in. And so I've been keeping up with those. And so I decided for each of those challenges, I'm going to pick a World War II book that somehow fits that challenge. And so that's what I'm gonna go over with you today. And then I also have a couple things I'm doing extra that are not World War II related, but I was already planning on doing those before I decided on this. So, but it'll all work out. Okay, so my first yearly challenge is Chantel Reads All Day. And her challenge for the month of June, now I am staying on the Doyle path. I didn't change. We had an opportunity to switch to the Montgomery side, but I'm still gonna stay with Doyle. And so for June, it's The Lost World, and it says, read a science fiction or fantasy book. So it's like, okay, I'm science fiction, fantasy, how's that gonna work with World War II? Well, I have a book that is gonna work because it is, and if you watched my TBR for May, it was on my TBR for May, and I didn't read it. I ended up reading another book to take its place. So this book, and I talked a little bit about last month, but I will again, it's called Wolf by Wolf, and this is a sci-fi fantasy book, but it is set in World War II because the protagonist, she is like on a mission to stop Hitler, but it has a sci-fi element to it. And I was really excited to read this, but like I said, I had other books that kind of got ahead of it, but then I'm glad I didn't read it because it fits this prompt well, and then it's a World War II book. So that is for Chantel. And then the next challenge that I'm doing is Katie from Paperbacks and Ponytails, and hers is to read a book that has been translated into another language that you would like to learn. Hey, Rocky. So for that, I chose this book, and it is I believe, yes, it is a middle grade, and it's a memoir, and it's The Boy on the Wooden Box by Leon Layson. And so this book has been translated into Italian, and that is a language I would love to learn. It's kind of similar to Spanish in some ways. And so that is my choice for my doggy. Just picked up his rock, and hopefully he doesn't drop it and start making noise. But anyway, so this is the book that I will read for Katie's. And it's a memoir of a young boy who grew up during World War II, and he is, I believe, in Poland, yeah, in the Krakow streets of Poland, and he's a Jewish boy and living through that. So that is going to be for Katie's. And then for Jeanette, Jane reads, her Christian fiction prompt for June is to read your, I think it's your second, let me make sure, your second most read genre. And I looked it on Storygraph. My first is historical fiction, and my second is romance. So for that one, I found, I picked up these books a while back. These are, it's a trilogy, and I have all three, but this one is by Sarah Sundin, called A Distant Melody. And this is a book about a woman who has like I believe it's like a correspondence kind of back and forth between a soldier that she meets. So we have some romance here, and it's World War II. So this is going to count for Jeanette's challenge. And then for Oshina's, I am going to use her prompt number 7, which is just a book that you wanted to read. And I picked up this book a long time ago because it was just such a beautiful cover. And it's by Christy Cambron. It's called The Butterfly and the Violin. And then I realized, you know what, this is also set in World War II times. And let me just read I don't know if I've talked about this book on my channel before, but let me go ahead and read this one. It says, a mysterious painting breathes hope and beauty into the darkness corners of Auschwitz and the loneliest hearts of Manhattan. It says, a Manhattan art dealer, Sarah James, watched her world crumble at the altar 2 years ago, and her heart is still fragile. Her desire for distraction reignites a passion for a mysterious portrait she first saw as a young girl, a painting of a young violinist with piercing blue eyes. In her search for the painting, Sarah crosses paths with William Hanover, the grandson of a wealthy California real estate mogul, who may be the key to uncovering the hidden masterpiece. Together, Sarah and William slowly unravel the story behind the painting's subject, Austrian violinist Adele von Braun. So that is, I love that cover. But I have heard this is a really good book. Okay, so that is for Oshina's challenge. And then my last yearly reading challenge is with Angie from Book Mama, and her challenge from June is to read a book that has blue on the cover. And so for that one, I am going to be reading Children of the Stars. This cover is really nice too. And it's by Mario Escobar. And as you can see, a beautiful blue cover. And this is, I don't know if I've talked about this one either, but let me go ahead and read the back of this. It says, August 1942, Jacob and Moses Stein, 2 young Jewish brothers, are staying with their aunt in Paris amid the Nazi occupation. The boys' parents, well-known German playwrights, have left the brothers in their aunt's care until they can find a safe harbor for the family. But before the Steins can reunite, a great and terrifying roundup occurs. The French gendarmes, under Nazi order, arrest the boys and take them to the Velodrome de Hiver, a massive bleak structure in Paris where thousands of French Jews are being forcibly detained. So it's their story. And this one, I'm really happy because I am going to be buddy reading this with Jeanette over at Jane Reads. She is actually, I think she's reading this for her prompt, or for the prompt for Katie's prompt, that is to read a book that is translated. And I believe this has been translated into Spanish. I believe that's what she told me she was going to do. But anyway, we are going to buddy read this together. And if anybody wants to join in with us, if you have this book, or if you'd like to, or if you're interested in reading this, feel free to join us. So this one is going to be for Angie's challenge. So that's it. Those are my, and those are plenty of books. If I wanted to just stop right there, I could, and be great. And I could get those World War II books read. But of course, I always have more books that I kind of want to put on my pile of possibilities. And so the first one is one that somebody on my channel commented about this book, A Farewell to Manzanar. And this is a book about a young girl in a not a concentration camp, but it's a camp that an internment camp that was in the United States during World War II, where they would bring in Japanese Americans or German Americans, and I believe Italian Americans as well, because they weren't sure of their loyalty to the United States. And so that is, that's a true story that happened in the United States during that time. So she reached out to me and commented that this was a really good book. So, and I ended up finding it at my library sale. So, and it's pretty thin, so possibility to go ahead and read that one this month. And then this one, I've been wanting to read for a long time. This one's called We Were the Lucky Ones, and it's about a Jewish family that goes through the Holocaust and what happens to them separately, individually. And I believe somebody said they had made a movie about this, but it is supposed to be a really great book. And so that one's another possible book that I can read this month. And then lastly, this one I really want to make, I'm going to put a priority on this one because I read this is part of Ruta Sepetty's duology, and I read the other book called Salt to the Sea in January, and this is a companion book to that, and it's about a young family that gets taken by the Russians. They live in Lithuania, and they get taken by the Russians and are imprisoned. And so this kind of sounds like what I have talked about, that I've been reading the book, The Gulag a Cappella. And so I'm thinking this is where they're gonna send them, because that's where the Russians sent their prisoners, was to the Gulag. So that's another reason why I want to read this book. So, and then lastly, I filmed a video last week, I think I posted it last week, of going to like free little libraries and dropping off some books and picking up books. And I love watching those videos, by the way. Other people's like free little libraries, I always say that name, I always say that wrong. Little free libraries, when they go on trips out of town or something, and they go stop at 25 of them and look in all the little boxes and things. And I love watching it, because when they're looking through them, I'm like, oh, I wish I could get that book, or that's a good book, I wish, Well, I filmed one, and when I was editing it, I was looking, I go, wait a minute, I didn't even see that book. I think I was just rushing too fast, or I don't know, I just didn't see it. So I did it to myself. I'm like, so I went back to that little free library, and thankfully they had it. They still had it. And I was like, I can't believe I missed it. But anyway, it is called Night by L. Weisel. And this is a true story. And it is I believe it's middle grade. And this is about, it's like a memoir of this person's experience in Auschwitz. And this, when I picked it up at the free little, it had, had the little boy's name. This little boy, he must have had it for school. I guess I'll show you. He wrote all his notes on the side. And so that's gonna be fun reading this book to read what this child thought about this book. So this one I definitely want to read this month, and look, it's really a short book. So those are the extra World War II books that I could possibly do this month. Okay, so now for the extra stuff. Okay, well, one more, and then I'll get to those. But one of the things that I found that is, it's going to actually work really well with my World War II, because it is a historical fiction readathon that a booktuber by the name, I want to make sure I get her name right, is Shelley Sweariton, and I'll make sure I link her announcement video below, so that you can if you want to join, if you love reading historical fiction as much as I do and you want to try that this month, she's doing that this month, and she's even given us a bingo board we can follow and, you know, try to get a bingo. And so I'm going to use the books that I'm reading to kind of fill in, maybe get a bingo or two this month. And also, let's see, and also Krista from Books and Jams did a video with her recommendations for that bingo board, and she did a lot. You know, I think she gave like 5 or 10 books per prompt. So I will link that below as well. I thought that was really cool that she did that. So now we'll get to the other things that are not World War II, and they all have to do with Tiffany over at Beautiful Minutia. So first of all, I hope everybody has gotten a chance to see her video, and I'll link her video below of her summer book bingo. She gave us our bingo board, and last year I participated in that and had a really fun time filling up. I didn't get a blackout, but I got quite a few bingos during the summer, and that's going to go through June, July, and August. And so I'll be doing that and filling in these books where they fit. And then also I'm participating in her Missed Along series, which is so in May we read the first book in the Mistborn series, and then for June we're going to read the second book, which is The Well of Ascension. And she's going to do some lives on her show. So for the second book, she'll have a live in July, on July 6th. So you have the whole month of June to read the second book. And so there's that. These books are so beautiful. So she's having us do that. So that's good. I think I noticed some other people were joining her in on her read along. And then you know, like that wasn't enough. You know, she announced that she was doing a summer read along, and it's because we need the whole summer, June, July, August, to read this big chunker. And this is called The Tale of Genji, and this is supposed to be the world's first novel, because you know it's pretty old, and this is about medieval Japan, and it's very dramatic and everything. And I was looking up to see what it was about, and I'm excited about it. And I had mentioned on a previous video that I found when I saw her video, her announcement video, I thought it'd be really great to join in on that, because our family had just recently watched the TV show Shogun, and that was so fascinating. That whole series was really well done, and so it got me interested in that time period. And I'm not sure what time period, how this is going to compare to Shogun, the time period, but it's kind of similar, I guess, maybe. But anyway, it made me want to read this book, and so I found this book on Pango for just $5, and so I was very happy to do that and happy to pick that up. That way I could join in with Tiffany and everybody else this summer to read this. And so the cool thing with Tiffany doing that, she is going to give us like chapters, how many chapters to read per month. And then at the end of the month, I think we'll have 2. Yep, I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. So on June 15th, she's going to have a live on her channel, and by then we'll have read chapters 1 through 11. And then at the end of the month, June 29th, we're going to go to from chapters 12 to 32. So we're going to get up to chapter 32. I'm curious. I haven't looked at this yet. You know, my book has really pretty pictures too. Let me see if I can find one. So chapter 32. And when I first found this on Pango, I actually found, and it was a really pretty cover, and I put it in my cart and paid for it and everything, and then I realized that it was a abridged version, so I had to cancel my order, and thankfully I found another one. Oh my goodness, chapter, it's pretty far. But my book has pictures, really pretty pictures throughout. So let's see, let me see what the next one. what did I say, 26? Can't be 32. I must have written that down wrong because that's pretty far. That's almost half the book. But anyway, so there's that. That is the big chunker I'll be tackling this summer. So let me see. Did I cover everything? Got all my challenges, got my extras, my summer thing. That is it. Well, I forgot something. I forgot to choose from my jar of my books that I have in here that I really want to try to get to this year. And I've been doing really well reading the ones I've chosen each month. So I do have a couple of World War II books in here. Let's see if I can pick them out. If not, I may have to switch it. I don't know. I'll see how it works out. If I pull out a really chunky one, I probably will switch it with one of the World War II books because I have already a lot on my TBR. So let's see which one I got. Yeah, this one doesn't, well, I guess I can check the time period. This book is called The First 15 Lives of Harry August. And this is a book, I believe it's about a book where he is going back and forth through time, maybe? Give me just a second, let me go grab it. Okay, it's The First 15 Lives of Harry August. I don't know what the time period is for this. Let's see. I mean, he has like old clothes on the cover. 1996, no, this is not. Yeah, so I think I'll try one more time and try one more time, see if I can pull a World War II book out of here. If not, I'm just gonna pick one. And I'll put Harry back. Put Harry back in the jar. Hey, Rocky. Oh, I forgot this was in there. This one is Unspoken, and this one I do believe is a World War II book. I totally forgot that was in there. So hey, I'm gonna go in here on my shelf here and see, I believe, oh, wait a minute. I wonder if I wrote that wrong. Oops, sorry, Unspoken. Because I have one that's called Unbroken. I think I meant Unbroken. And I know that is a World War II book. Oops, sorry. Yeah, World War II story of survival, resilience, and redemption. It's a nonfiction book about a true story of a person that went through World War II. I believe that's what I meant to write. Was this one? Because I don't think I have a book called Unbroken. I'm looking up on my shelf and I don't think so. So that worked out. So that will be my choice from my jar. Unbroken, even though it says unspoken. We'll just let that go because I think that works out. All right, so that's it for sure now. I can't believe it. It doesn't seem like I have that many books, but there is a lot of books. There is a lot of books. So let me know below. Thank you for watching it. I thought it was gonna be longer than that, but it's not. But that's good. Nice short video for a TBR. It's not bad at all. So those are the books that I'm going to be reading, attempting to do this month. And oh, I do have another one. I'll probably include, and it fits in because I didn't get to finish the nonfiction book, The Hiding Place. And so that I'm just going to continue reading and finish it the end of the month. And that fits right in with my World War II because that is the same time period. So that's going to be added in to this one as well. But that is it. Let me know below if you like World War II historical fiction. If you've read any really good ones, let me know. I would love to hear any more recommendations you have for World War II. I know some people get tired of historical fictions that deal with World War II, but you know, there's so many stories. And then World War II happened, you know, in many countries. So you can find stories in Italy, you can find stories in Germany, England, and United States. It's just, there's just so many. And so let me know in the comments below if you've read a really good one recently or in the past, or one that you would like to read and that you have on your shelf, or if you want to join me this month and read a couple of your World War II books that you have on your shelf. Well, thank you so much for joining me. You all have a great and blessed day, and have a wonderful holiday today. Bye-bye.